Hello everybody, and welcome to Homestead Where You Are. My name is Janet, and today I am going to be processing some green beans and some yellow beans out of the garden. It started out as 4.5 pounds of the golden wax beans, and I had 1.5 pounds of the Blue Lake green beans. Last night I went ahead and snap the ends and cut them into smaller pieces to get them ready for the canning process. And I did not film that. But then I also have this package of French green beans that I picked up at the grocery outlet, regular $3.49, and you can see it has $3 in stickers on it, so I paid 49 cents. So I figured I would just can those up while I was doing the others. So, it is supposed to be 112 degrees today, and as many of you know, my canning kitchen is outside. So it is first thing in the morning, trying to get this done and over with before it gets extremely hot. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my jars heating. I already put some jars inside here. And I'm going to start heating those up. And we'll go ahead and go ahead and get that one heating up for when I'm ready to. Okay, so our jars are heated up pretty good. Now, I have my lids and rings inside this bowl. I'm going to dump some of this hot water in here. Don't boil them anymore because you're not supposed to have to. But I do like to get them nice and hot. Alright, so I'm going to start with the yellow ones. And I'm just going to fill my jars. And as I said, these have already been washed and trimmed and all of that fun stuff. I did that last night. I wish I would have filmed it, but I knew it was going to be so hot today. I was trying to get a jump start on getting ahead. Now this is the first time I have ever grown the golden wax beans. Never even had them before. We've eaten them twice, and the first time I just boiled them a little bit to get them part of the way done, and then I drained them and sauteed them with butter and garlic pepper seasoning and a little bit of Mrs. Dash, and those were really, really good. These wax beans, these gold ones, are very buttery in flavor. So they were delicious. And then we had some last night, and I did them just like I would do most of the time with some regular green beans, and I just put them in some water with some butter and salt and pepper. And they were good, but it was kind of funny because my husband and I are so opposite sometimes. I liked them better sauteed. My husband liked them better boiled. Now the wax beans are a bush bean, the golden ones, and which means that they are going to produce all at around the same time, within a couple of weeks to maybe a month, and then they will be done. The green ones are a pole bean, so they will, as long as you keep picking, they will keep producing until the end of the season. And so my golden ones, I think, are almost finished. But like I said, we ate on them twice already, plus was this 3, 6, 7, 8.5 pints. And I think I only had about 7 or so of those plants. Don't really want to have like a half of a pint here, so I'm gonna kind of stuff these down in here a little better because they're gonna settle once I put the water in anyway. We're gonna leave about a 1/2 inch of head space. Alright, now I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt to each jar. I'm using canning salt. You can use kosher salt or pink Himalayan or something like that if you choose. And now I'm going to wipe my rims just to make sure there's no salt on the edge. Put my lids on. Alright, so I'm going to put my jars in the canner now. Alright, and I need a second level. Mine can double stack pints. Oh, forgot to put these in a jar. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am already starting to sweat. It's getting very hot already. And I believe it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Alright, I'm going to wait for that to start venting, and then I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so this has been venting for about 10 minutes now. So I'm going to put my weight on there, and now I'm going to wait for it to come up to pressure, which for me, in my elevation, is 10 pounds. And then when it gets to 10 pounds, I'm going to start my timer for 40 minutes and let them process for 40 minutes, and I'll bring you back after that. Okay, so these have been processing for 40 minutes. I am going to turn the burner off and I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm going to let the pressure come back down to 0, and I'm going to let that do it naturally, all on its own. Don't do anything to try and rush it. You'll end up with siphoning, and it won't be a safe product if you do that. So just let it sit, probably take 30 minutes or more, but let it come down to 0 all by itself. So when that happens, we'll bring you back and we'll see what the product looks like. All right, so the pressure is down to 0 on here. You can tell when I lift that, there's no sound coming out of it. So I'm going to take the lid off. I'm going to open it away from me. Now, if you're doing this in your kitchen, you're going to want to let that sit just like that for anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. Because if you have air conditioning on or anything like that, the shock from taking the jar out and the air hitting it could cause it to break. In my case, it's 110 degrees right now and I am outside. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. It's an oven out here right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out and see what they look like. All right, so you can see these are the golden beans. These 3 are the package that I bought of the French beans. Those are the regular Blue Lake green beans. All right, now I'm just going to let these sit for about 24 hours, overnight anyway, and I will put them in my pantry in the morning. All right, so that's all there is to it. Easy peasy green beans. I'm sure I will have at least 2 more batches probably throughout the rest of the season. I really didn't plant that many plants, so I'm pretty happy with the yield that I've gotten. I thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I hope I see you on the next one.